Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be talking about the Clementine book 1, chapter 1. It's going to be sort of like a review on like some things I noticed. I'm not really going to be talking about the story from chapter 1. I will be briefly, but I do want to talk about, I guess, why the direction Tilly Walden is going for the Clementine book trilogy doesn't seem really good. Like, if I'm being honest, it does not seem that good. I will admit I was one of those people that wasn't really a big fan of the comic at first, but considering it was like a preview, I was like, okay, we'll give it another wait. And usually with chapter 1s, you kind of have to like impress like the reader, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, you really have to like capture their attention like in the first beginning of the story, because if you don't, then why should someone like why would I care enough to like keep continuing to read the book, if that makes sense. The game, like, you know, it's like kind of that situation where you have to intrigue the person in the very beginning if you want them to continue your story. So I read the Clementine book 1 chapter 1. It's only chapter 1. The full book releases next month, and it honestly was not that good, if I'm being honest. Like, I understand it's only chapter 1, so things could change obviously, but like, I really don't like the direction it's going, but I do think it could be getting better maybe near the later on to the story. But like, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of book 1 so far, but I'm going to be talking about some stuff about Tilly Walden that I've noticed. So Tilly Walden, I did not really know this before, but she works as like a bibliography, I guess you could say. So basically she like writes stories about like, you know, people, I guess you could say, like their lives. And so it really seems like she's trying to insert herself into her life with this story, and I'm mixed about this. I personally have no issue with that. However, Tilly Walden, your life does not have zombies in your life. Like Walking Dead is a very different property than like doing bibliographies, for example, because one of them is like literally based on like true facts on like someone's life, while one of them is like a fictional world of the Walking Dead universe. And this really leads to my next issue, is that she seems to like connect like some stuff of her life into the comic book, and it could be really off-putting sometimes, because Clementine wants to go to Vermont, for example, and Tilly Walden's actually from Vermont, which I did not know until today when I was reading, like, doing some info search about her. But yeah, she really seemed to like base around her stuff, like her life around like Clementine, and there's some pros and cons of this. I think it's definitely really interesting to have like parts of like of yourself be true or not. But the thing is, The Walking Dead is like a fictional universe, and so why does Clementine need to go to Vermont? There's not really an explanation for that. And I feel like if they were to explain it, they would explain it like at the book 3 trilogy, to explain like why she finally went to Vermont, which doesn't really make sense so far. And I don't like how they like made this as a mysterious. I don't like how they made this like a mysterious goal in the beginning of book 1. It really feels like that they purposely did it just so Clementine can just have another adventure. Another issue I'll mention is that this really does follow like the Walking Dead final season, where Clementine does find like a new settlement, and she finds like a bunch of new group of people. The same thing happened with Walking Dead season 2, when Clementine found like the cabin group, and I guess you could say it's the same thing with season 1, but season 2 and season 4 felt similar, where basically Clementine basically just like found like, you know, I guess a group, I guess, in a way. So season 4 was okay just because of it being the final season and all, and season 2 that was fine as well, but season 4, this really does feel like a similar connection. I understand that these are like a different group of settlements of people who don't believe in like modern technology, but however, it really did feel like the same direction of the Walking Dead the final season, where Clementine was like getting introduced with the town and stuff. I don't know. I know that's probably like simple, and it's just gonna be for the beginning of the comic for the book, and the whole point is to like lead up the hype to like the actual main story. But I'm just honestly not a big fan of it. I've seen it overdone way too much. It would have been cool maybe if Clementine was with other people from the boarding school, seeing these group of settlements. Heck, I would even want like a Javier spinoff. Like, Clementine's story was technically over with the final season, and so there wasn't really a need for her story to continue, I guess. Tilly Walden also seems to be like hinting a bunch of nostalgia from season 1 to the book trilogy, which I'm not really a big fan of either. I wasn't a big fan of the Walking to the Final Season when they did this, of course, because they really felt like they copied the ending of Walking to Season 1, but just made it where Clementine survived, and it really felt like it was like a bunch of nostalgia with Season 4, which people liked, honestly, because it was the final season and it was nice to have. But personally for me, I felt like the Walking to the Final Season felt really fan fiction-y with its writing, and I do think it feels fan fiction-y again with its writing in the book trilogy. Clementine really does feel like a different character. She really did change a lot. Season 1, I think she was okay because she was just growing up. Season 2 was really where you got to develop your Clementine, and she really got hurt in my life. Season 3, Clementine was off character depending on your choices, and they really focused on like a more edgier Clementine, for example. And for Season 4, I know that it was like a really calmer Clementine, and they really want Clementine to feel like she had like her own happy ending, and you got to like really see like that point of view from her again of Season 1 while still being badass in like Season 2 era. But yeah, it's pretty interesting just to see Tilly Walden writing in the Walking Dead comics, just because of the fact that I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't think it's really good, honestly. I do think she was pressured on time, if I was being honest. I don't blame her. I blame the people in charge that maybe didn't give her enough time to like acknowledge it. But it is really like kind of sad how the Clementine book trilogy seems to be heading the direction of where it's not really The Walking Dead anymore. Like, sure, there's walkers, there's settlements and stuff, but they really want it to be like a romantic drama, by the way it looks from the trailer, with that love interest, and people are saying that that's Tilly Walden as the love interest, and I don't want to make assumptions. I literally don't want to make assumptions, but if that is true, then that is kind of fucking gross, honestly. Like, I get you want to write like your own story and stuff, and like make like your own story, but don't make it about yourself. Like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't know. It depends on the story, for example. Like, you can add elements from your life into the book trilogy. However, you need to be realistic on like what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. I think that's the best way to describe it. I know that her mom worked on HBO, and she really did mention about like this big thing about queer women and queer people mixed in with trauma. So I feel like that's the direction. If she mentioned that for a reason, that's clearly the biggest thing that they're gonna do for the book trilogy. Have Clementine have a love interest with that girl in the trailer, and it's gonna be like it's really gonna be more like of a drama and not really about like zombies or anything, walkers. It's just gonna be like a drama love story, and I'm not really a big fan of that. At least the Walking to the Final Season had the option of having a love interest or not, and you were able to choose on who you wanted Clementine to romance with. And there was a story about like Lily in the Delta, which wasn't handled perfectly, but that was somewhat of a story. I'm not a big fan of it, but that was like an attempt of making a story of like issues with like boarding school drama and stuff. So I really do applaud Telltale for trying, at least. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but I'm glad they tried at least to understand what Walking Dead was about, especially since they were like around 7 years in the apocalypse, I believe. But yeah, that's currently it for the Walking Dead Clementine Book 1, Chapter 1 review. This is all I really wanted to say, honestly. I'm not sure where I'm gonna go with this, but clearly in the interview, Tilly mentioned that this is her vision and she wants to do what she wants, and I think there needs to be like other writers involved. I think she's the only writer in this this book, so I think that's why there isn't really like any fact checking, I guess you could say, on like if it makes sense. Does it make sense for this to be like The Walking Dead? I don't know. That's what I honestly think about it, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions about it, because I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoy, and I do want to cover the whole book topic, so I will definitely be reading the first book when that releases next year, and I am curious to see what's gonna happen next. This is just my opinions. If you guys love the book, then please enjoy it. I just don't like the direction it's going, and I don't even like the Walking in the final season. I know that's everyone's favorite game, but like I personally am not a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of Telltale, but I just wasn't a big fan of the direction of the final season. However, I do give props for Telltale for making something unique for an ending of Clementine. But yeah, if you guys do want to follow all my social media will be on the screen right here, and it would really mean a lot if you guys followed me on all of them because I like them. And then yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, share, subscribe. Helps out the channel a bunch. And yeah, I would love to hear your opinions about this because no one's gonna be talking about this with me, so I would love to hear. But yeah, I'll see you guys later in the next video. So goodbye.